This week we started with some ammonium nitrate fertiliser on the light land spring wheat to make use of rain which was forecast for Monday. We did have a nice 5mm light rain, but not the heavy rain I was expecting. And in anticipation of more rain to come, I took the opportunity to demo a Pottinger Rotary hoe I had been offered the previous year. We started the demo on some clayed and drilled heavy land close to the buildings. Unfortunately, the high magnesium content made the soil too hard for the rotary hoe to penetrate very deep, and had the effect when travelling slowly on the headlands of simply pulling out plugs about 10mm deep and the size of your fingertip. Apparently this action would still facilitate nitrogen release, and I thought it would be ideal for encouraging rain infiltration, especially on capped soils, but it wasn't the weeding effect we were looking for. So we planned to move the demo to some light chalk land which had been moved with the TerraStar prior to more drilling to give the demo a better weeding chance on moved land. So one of the concerns yesterday was that we were in some really strong heavy land, and that the spoons weren't sticking in. So as you can see today, this is the famous field where we struggled to get the mortar set up, and it was done with the TerraStar. As you can see, we've got some friable stuff on the surface, and what it does is it just pulls out these little plugs here, and it just pulls up a chunk with it. There you go, it's pulled up a bit of wheat there. It's pretty easy to see over here on this hard unworked ground. You can really see the individual plug marks here where the spoons go in. But overall, in the softer bits, it is moving a bit of ground. It's not sort of raking quite like the harrow would. So what we've done in a field elsewhere, some other spring wheat, we've put a check strip in, 24-metre check strip, so that we can take it through to harvest and see if there's any sort of yield benefit or yield penalty, and also to sort of follow the weeds through. So we have been told that it's best done as a couple of passes, so we got it for a week, so we'll probably go back and do those areas with a second pass. We've got some rain forecast for tomorrow. Hopefully we will get an opportunity to go through some land with our tined weeder tomorrow, and then come back out with this again on Friday. So yes, we shall see some different modes of action. Certainly the work rate is pretty impressive, so always keen on a tool that gives us high work rate. Here comes the tractor, as you can see, pretty dry on top, and we'll just get some footage of him as he comes past. One thing I have thought, it would really help if you were suffering from capping, if you had sandy soil. I mean, these little plugs that it pulls out really do make for lovely tilth afterwards. It would certainly help for plugging and give an opportunity for the water to soak back in. Morning everybody, welcome back to a rather dark and drizzly Sunday morning. So this week we had a trial with the Pottinger Star weeder, and actually in this field we've done another split trial. So half the field is weeded with the Pottinger, and I wonder if you can just see on the far side, you can see the more of the striping, which is where we came back with our conventional Einbock weeder. So we've done a split trial here, and we will take it through to harvest and through to yield. And actually Pottinger made the point that their weeder works best after a couple of passes, so we've actually got it for next week as well. So we'll come back through, and they also made the point that it was best done in cultivated land. And as you can see here, thank you, yes, this was just moved with the Terra Star, and I always struggle with Terra Star and Terra Blade, but anyway, Terra Star. And as you see, we've got a bit of crumb on the top, so it's got the opportunity to move some stuff around. And as you can see, you're not seeing the pock marking that we did on the heavy land. So I think they're probably right. It is better used in a more friable surface. So more to follow. This week we also took delivery of a couple of transitfuls of wood chip waste. As you can see, it's got plenty of green mixed in. I'm always surprised about how fast it gets hot. It's probably been here, it was probably delivered Thursday, and you can see it's already going white, and my goodness me, is this hot. I tried to capture the steam coming off. I mean, it's a bright day in the 20s and it's steam coming off. So we're taking this and we're mixing it with our small compost heap, just with the JCB. So I think most farmers can understand or believe that compost is good for their fields, but the issue is expense. It's expensive to produce. This pile here, which is, I don't know, probably about 6 spreaderfuls, so what's that, sort of 80-90 tons. That's last year's pile, well rotted down, and I'm just doing the work on this year's compost heap. So I've talked before, we've got a windrow compost turner, which we use for the big piles, but this is sort of my high quality pile close to the farm buildings, and my challenge is always, I'm trying to get this system right, because I'm trying to I want to get to a water applied system, but I'm just trying to get my windrows sorted out and keep it as cheap as possible. It easily runs away and becomes quite an expensive process. So here we're using, it's close to my building, so I can use tree waste, arboretum waste that we get from clearing people's gardens. We have a cabinet maker on site, and so there's a lot of sawdust, and then we use grass clippings from environmental schemes where we've got to cut and clear, and finally we use all the chaff and waste grain from grain cleaning. And I picked up really those ideas from when I went to visit Gabe Brown, and he said, look at your system and try and identify your waste streams and how you can make use of them. So let's just have a look at this heap. Waste grain from a grain drying system, you can see quite a lot here. Now so this is also sweepings if we've got waste grain or something like that. Now for those of you who are telling me be careful of weed seeds, I can tell you that as I hold this in my hand, it is roasting hot. I doubt anything is going to survive that. In here we've got an example of a bit of sawdust. Jeez, ow, that is hot. and then most of the other bits come, I suppose, something like this. This is an example of, oh no, that's all growing stuff, but here we got up here, so I'll move this wet bit out of the way. Gee, even that's roasting hot. And you'll see underneath here sort of cut grass from environmental schemes. That's gone through a forager, and we just blew it into the trailer. That's probably our base material, that and wood chip. So this is the pile. You can see this is where we're moving it to. You can see some grass clippings here, and we just try and mix it each time. But as I said, the real challenge of this system is producing it as cheaply as possible. So I'm trying to keep it small whilst I learn and whilst I build efficiencies. And then my ultimate aim is to have it in some sort of liquid form where I can, apply it with a tanker of some kind. Thank you very much for watching. Please give this week's video a thumbs up. Click on the bell to get notifications of when our next video goes live. See you next time. Bye.